Welcome back everybody. So what if I told you that there's a £50 controller out there that does everything that apparently a Pro controller can do at a fraction of the price? Well, that's what Gamesir are saying about this, the Super Nova. Now I've had my hands on this for a wee while, so let's get into it and see if Gamesir can back that up. Right, first off, apologies again for not putting any videos out recently. Work's been really busy just now and I'm just constantly going on trips to China, so apologies about that. I've not been around much, but back to the video. So if you don't know, Gamesir are a Hong Kong based manufacturers of game controllers, and they've been going for a few years now. They've got lots and lots of controllers out if you've never heard of them before. And the one we're looking at today is the Super Nova 2, sorry, not the Super Nova 2, the Super Nova, and it sits alongside their other game controller, which is the Cyclone 2. And if you're interested in the Cyclone, I'll leave a link in one of the corners on a previous video I've done and a review of them. In terms of price, you can get this for around about £50. I covered that in the intro, and if you shop around you might get it a little bit cheaper. Sometimes there's deals and so on for it, so keep your eyes open for it. But frankly, it's remarkable what you're getting for the price. It's a great controller. So let's crack into the unboxing and we'll take it from there. Right, so this is the box. It's a nice clean presentation, nothing too over the top, but it does feel like a premium product straight away. So out of the box you've got the controller itself, and right away I'll say the first impression is it's really good. You've also got the charging dock. You don't always get something like this at this price. And then there's a 2.4 GHz USB dongle, a 1.8 meter USB Type-C to USB Type-A charging cable, and then finally you've got some documentation in here as well. Now one thing to point out, and it's a nice touch in my opinion, that the dongle can actually sit in the back of the dock here. It's not just floating around on your desk somewhere making your desk look all untidy, but you can plug in the dongle, if I can get it the right way. You plug it in like so, and then the dock will be sitting on your desk like that, and you don't actually see the wireless dongle. Quite a nice touch. Right, on to the design and build quality. So first things first, this controller looks and feels absolutely brilliant. I mean, genuinely, for 50 quid, the build quality here is something else. It weighs in at 263 grams, which is actually slightly lighter than the official Xbox controller, and that sits around about 287 grams. So it's got enough weight to feel premium without being heavy and tiring on your hands during long sessions. The grips, and this is something I really appreciate, they're rubberized and they wrap around all the way around both arms of the controller. Your hands just feel completely set in place when you're gaming, just a really nice touch. Then there's the RGB. Now I know not everyone's bothered about RGB, but the strip in the Super Nova is genuinely well done. It runs along the outside of the controller, and what I really like is that when you put it in the charging dock, the lights from the controller and the dock line up and cycle together as one complete circuit. It's a small detail, but it genuinely looks brilliant. Now here's one of the more unique features. The faceplate on the front is magnetic, so it actually lifts off. And I'll just show you that. So basically it lets you swap the A, B and XY buttons around. So if you're a Switch player, for example, and you prefer the button layout, you can switch these around, and these two are just magnetic. Simple as that. And you just pop the faceplate back on. Now, just a word of warning. When you're swapping the buttons, make sure you're somewhere settled. I nearly lost a button doing it for the first time, and trust me, you do not want to be losing any of those buttons on the floor or underneath furniture, your couch or whatever. But basically, the first time I done this, the thumbsticks came flying off and the buttons came flying out as well, so just be careful doing that. But it's just a brilliant feature. It's something you don't normally see on controllers at this price, only Pro controllers, and I just think it's a fantastic little touch by Gamesir. Right, So let's get to the features, and this is where the Super Nova really justifies its price tag. So for the button layout, we've got a typical kind of Xbox style layout. Got your two thumbsticks, got your D-pad, and then we've got your X, Y and AB layout. And again, I'll cover this later on, but this can be changed. Up at top here, we've got minus and a plus button, and I'll show you what those do later on. We've got a screenshot button, a home button, we've got a mode button down here, and then we've got indicator lights. And then again, I'll cover what all these do. So on this controller, we have Hall effect sticks and triggers. So the analog sticks use Hall effect technology. Now if you're not sure what that means, basically it uses magnets instead of the traditional potentiometer mechanism, which means they're far more precise and they should last significantly longer without drifting. And when I say precise, when I tested these on the gamepad tester, both sticks were hitting 100% accuracy. Honestly, that's not something we see every day. The triggers also use Hall effect, which again gives you that ultra precise feel. Now they're a little different in feel to say a DualSense. They're slightly more hollow, but you get used to it fairly quickly. On the back here, we also have trigger lockouts, and this is a feature you'd expect to pay a lot more for. There's a toggle in each of the triggers that lets you switch between longer travel or a shorter travel for that more quicker reaction. If you're playing FPS games like Warzone or whatever, if that's your thing, the shorter travel genuinely makes a difference to your reaction time. It's the kind of thing that usually is reserved for controllers twice the price of this. Back paddles. You've also got two back paddles. They're sitting right under your fingers naturally, and they're firm enough that you won't actually activate them by accident, which is important. You can program them on the fly, or you can do it through the Gamesir Connect software, which I'll come to in a sec. Right, quick one. If you're finding this video useful, it would mean a lot to me if you could please just drop a like and subscribe. It doesn't cost a thing, but it does help my channel out massively. Let's get back to it. So for connectivity, you've got three options with this controller. You've got a 2.4 GHz dongle, which you can obviously plug into your PC or your Nintendo Switch. And you've also got Bluetooth, or you can use it via the USB Type-C connection up the top there. You can see here the little switch for switching it between Bluetooth and the dongle. The dongle runs at 1000 Hz polling rate, which is incredibly fast, and that's your best option for gaming. Bluetooth works well too for some more casual stuff, and the controller is compatible with PC, Nintendo Switch, iOS, Android and Smart TV, so you pretty much got everything you want. Now for pairing this with various devices, if we just turn on the controller at the back to the Bluetooth side of things, press the home button and you'll see the controller lighting up. So if you want to connect this to PC or iOS, all you do is you hold down the home button and you press the B button down for a few seconds. Nope, sorry. Home button and B button down for a few seconds. And you'll see the three bottom indicator lights flashing here to tell you it's in pairing mode. So that's indicator lights 2, 3 and 4. And then you just go to your PC or your Apple phone and you should be able to connect that. It will appear as this on the screen. Now if you want to connect it to, let's say, your Nintendo Switch, again you hold down the home button and this time you press Y and you should see those indicator switches changing again. Let's try that again. And you can see here, we've got the indicator going up and down rapidly, and that lets you know that it's in pairing mode for the Nintendo Switch. So again, go to the Nintendo Switch, you go to switch the grip order, and then the controller should appear. Unfortunately, I can't show you that. And then finally, if you want to connect it to Android, we hold the home button down and we press A this time. And we should see these lights changing. And this time, we see here it's indicator lights 3 and 4. And again, just go over to your Android device, your phone, and search for a controller in the list of available devices. Now, one small gripe, and to be honest it's just a very minor one, and it's got to do with a switch in the back of the controller that toggles between Bluetooth and the wireless dongle. I find it a little finicky to switch between it. It's just quite closely inlaid into the casing, and it's a little bit fiddly to get at. Doesn't affect the performance, just slightly annoying in day-to-day use. So for the software, if you hop over to Gamesir's website, you should see a page like this with all the different pieces of software, but for us, being on a PC, we are looking for this here, which is the Gamesir Connect software. So if you go ahead and install that, you should then see a page like this, and you can see all the different types of controllers that we can go in and modify under the software. For us, we'll be looking at the Super Nova, and when you click that, you should see a dashboard like this, and you can change loads and loads of things, same as what we could change on the fly, but you can do it through the software, and personally I think this is much easier. So you can see here we've got all the lights options, we've got the triggers and so on, sticks, buttons, motion, and this is, as I say, this is like a dashboard, but when you're hovering over the top, you can see here we've got options to go into them a little further, and it takes you into a more in-depth layout. You can change everything. So again, we can change all the lights, you know, change the colour, the brightness, the speed. If you're looking just for something static, you can see here there's a colour slider to change the controller lights. Buttons, we can totally remap all the buttons through this software to whatever you want, including those back paddles. Sticks, we can go in here and we can change the dead zones, the anti-dead zones. There's curve adjustments, all sorts of stuff here. Plenty of customization. Again, the motion control, if you're playing us on the Switch, you can mess about with the dead zones and so on. All the different controls, if that's your thing. Triggers, again, dead zones and so on can be all adjusted under the software. Vibration, we can change the strength of each vibration, and this is really cool. You can actually do this on the left side and the right side. We can individually control them. And here is a little button for a test to actually test the motors are running fine. And back to the lights. Over here, we've got a firmware upgrade button. We've got a firmware upgrade button. And as you can see, my firmware is up to date. And that is pretty much the software. Sorry, one last bit. If you don't want to use any of the online gamepad testers, we also have a testing screen here, and it lets you see that all the buttons are functioning as they should be, which is a nice thing to have. We can see all those trigger buttons and the back paddles and everything are all working. So also a nice little thing to include, and that's the software. So for battery, you're looking at around 12 to 14 hours of gaming per charge, and a full charge takes around 2 hours, which is pretty standard and perfectly reasonable for this kind of controller. The controller RGB strip will flash red when the battery is below 15%, and it will go into standby mode after about 10 minutes of inactivity. In terms of the actual gaming performance, it's smooth. Whether I was playing shooters, platformers or just general gaming, everything felt responsive and comfortable. The Hall effect sticks genuinely do make a difference. There's a precision there that you don't always get at this price point, and with the 1000Hz polling rate on the dongle, input lag is basically a non-issue. So let's talk about the value of the Super Nova. Here I've got one of my Xbox controllers. Now this is a limited edition Starfield one, but you can start off with the base Xbox controllers for about 60 quid upwards, and then it starts rising up to 80, 90 pounds, whatever it is for special edition controllers. The same goes for the DualSense controllers from Sony. This doesn't have Hall effect sticks, it doesn't have trigger lockouts, it doesn't have any back buttons on it at all, whereas the Super Nova has all of that for 50 quid. Now, as I touched on earlier, Gamesir also have this controller, which is the Cyclone 2, and they're roughly about the same price bracket. But if micro switches is your thing, this is where the Cyclone 2 comes in, and this might be the one you want to have a look at. But for us, the Super Nova has membrane switches, and to be totally honest, they work fine. They're a little bit softer to press on, but they're quieter, so that might be something that swings your decision one way or the other in which of these two excellent controllers you want to buy. So is the Super Nova worth it? To be honest, absolutely. For the price, what you're getting here is remarkable. Hall effect sticks that hit 100% accuracy, trigger lockouts, swappable buttons, back paddles, a charging dock, tri-mode connectivity. That is a Pro controller in everything but a name, and again, it's only 50 quid. The only real downside are these memory buttons over the micro switches, and that slightly fiddly switch for switching between the modes, the tri-mode switch at the back, but to be honest, none of these are a deal breaker. So if you're in the market just now for a very budget friendly controller, whether it's for PC, Nintendo Switch, mobile, you name it, the Gamesir Super Nova is definitely one I would be pointing you in the direction of. And that's a wrap on the review of the Gamesir Super Nova. I hope you found it useful. As always, if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments below and I'll answer them if I can. And as always, if you can, please leave a like and subscribe. We would really appreciate it. And I'll be back with something again soon. See you later.